This is not just another AI infrastructure update. It is a pricing and power move hiding inside a cloud story. Google is not merely trying to build better models. It is trying to build the kind of stack that makes rivals more expensive, customers more dependent, and margins harder for everybody else to defend. A same-day SiliconANGLE analysis ahead of Google Cloud Next argues that Google is entering the agentic AI era with an underappreciated advantage: full stack control. The claim is simple but sharp. In an AI market where agents act continuously, latency, security, data movement, policy enforcement, and cost per token all matter at once, stitched-together platforms start looking old very fast. Google's answer is brute force and elegant at the same time. Spend a lot. Spend more than people expected. The analysis says Alphabet's 2026 capital expenditure outlook is now closer to $175 to $185 billion, versus prior expectations around $119.5 billion. That is not a budget tweak. That is a table flip. And crucially, Google is not buying just one lane of compute. It is scaling its own TPU infrastructure while still securing Nvidia GPUs. Translation: Google wants both leverage and insurance. TPUs give it more control over cost, supply, and workload optimization. Nvidia gives it access to the ecosystem customers already trust. One path lowers dependency. The other keeps it competitive everywhere else. The real business angle is not who has the flashiest demo next week. It is who gets to set the economic terms of AI at enterprise scale. For years, cloud competition was partly about features, partly about sales coverage, and partly about who could lock in the most workloads. Agentic AI changes the game because the bill is no longer just storage plus compute plus a dashboard license. Now it is tokens, orchestration, security, inference latency, transaction reliability, and governance all piled into one non-stop system. That favors whoever can optimize the most pieces at once. And Google has a very specific dream here: turn vertical integration into pricing power. If Google can steer more workload to its own TPUs, it can improve margins, manage supply risk, and price more aggressively without looking reckless. If it can still offer Nvidia where needed, it avoids the classic closed ecosystem trap. That is why this matters. It is not one bet. It is a two-sided squeeze. The analysis points out that the market is shifting from paying for tools to paying for outcomes. That sounds like consultant wallpaper, but it has teeth. Outcome pricing punishes bloated stacks. If customers start asking not which cloud has the most services, but which platform gets my AI agent to a trusted business result at the lowest total cost, then the vendor with the cleanest end-to-end path suddenly has a major advantage. Google also has another luxury: advertising cash. Alphabet can fund this infrastructure arms race without the same immediate margin panic others would face. In other words, Google can afford to stay patient while still being aggressive, which is an extremely annoying combination if you are a competitor. My read is that Google Cloud's AI push matters less as a headline and more as a market signal. Google is trying to redefine cloud competition around economics, not excitement. Around control, not just capability. Around who can make enterprise AI cheaper, faster, and less chaotic at the same time. That does not mean Google wins tomorrow. AWS and Microsoft are still giants, and giants do not vanish because somebody bought more chips. But this does mean the next phase of the cloud war may not be won by the company with the loudest model launch. It may be won by the company that turns infrastructure into leverage, leverage into pricing pressure, and pricing pressure into share. And that is why Google's latest AI push looks less like a product story and more like a power PL.